For latest astrology videos, subscribe AstroEdify channel and press this bell icon to get notified when a new video goes live.
Hello everybody, welcome to AstroEdify. Today we are going to discuss that what happens when Mercury is in the sign of Scorpio in anybody's horoscope. So let's start this video. If you want to book a consultation for yourself, you can go on this website. The link is given in the description here. So today we are going to talk about Mercury in Scorpio. What kind of results does this placement gives if it is in anybody's chart? So first of all, let's understand what is Mercury. See, Mercury is a planet of intelligence. It is a very sensitive planet after Moon, because Mercury and Moon are the two most sensitive planets which on whom the influence of any other planet or zodiac sign or the nakshatra or the house is very strong. So Mercury and Moon are the two planets which create a lot of changes in their results when they come in contact or in association with any kind of other planets, zodiac sign, nakshatra or houses. So Mercury here, naturally what it represents, it is the planet of intelligence, memory, learning ability. It controls our speech, communication, nervous system, reflexes. It is a main planet of communication. So in communication, see, communication consists of several things. First of all, communication between the people. So means with the help of mediums like language and sound. So Mercury is a planet of language. Without language, it could be any kind of language, but without language we can't communicate. So first is the means of communication is language, then second is sound. Without sound, again it will be very difficult to communicate. Then any kind of media like writing, written form of communication or spoken communication. So it could be any kind of communication as well. Then other mediums of communication which are available currently in this day and age, like internet, like telecommunication, like radar, like radio. All these are mediums of communication with the help of which we can connect with each other. Even if we are in different continents, still we can connect. So this connectivity, this communication is controlled by Mercury totally. Apart from this, any kind of other means of communication as well which can physically connect to the from one person to another, that is also under the domain of Mercury, like transportation. With the help of transportation we can connect with each other from one place to another. So we can go from one place to another with the help of various types of communication, means of transport, like land based transport, air based transport, water based transport. All these types of transports are available, with the help of which we are able to connect with each other from one place to another physically. So that is also represented by Mercury. So communication is a huge domain which is all under the control of Mercury in general. Apart from this, Mercury is a planet of logic, practicality and reasoning and analysis. So it is a planet of numbers. So any kind of subject or field which connects with these kind of, which requires these kind of skills is also under the domain of Mercury. So Mercury is a planet of what? Mathematics. So it is related with numbers, it is related with analysis and logic and reasoning, all the things. So mathematics comes into the domain of Mercury. Mercury also is a planet of business and commerce and detailing and any kind of keen observation, innovation, quick wit. It is a planet of speculation, trade. It is a planet of computers and IT sector and sports and creativity. If we talk about, it is a planet of ideas. It is a single planet which is responsible for the generation of ideas and expression of ideas. So in Virgo it generates the ideas, in Gemini it expresses the ideas. Then it is, if we talk about our body, it controls our brain and nervous system. Then it is our respiratory system, hands, skin and ear, nose and throat. This is what Mercury is. So these are the things that are under the domain of Mercury. Now let's talk about what is Scorpio. See, Scorpio is the natural zodiac sign of the 8th house and it is controlled by Mars. Mars is the ruler of Scorpio along with Ketu. Then it is a water sign. Okay, so if we talk about what are the things which are represented by Scorpio, so first of all, Scorpio is that part of water, since it is a water sign, so it is that part of water which is highly turbulent, which is very turbulent, which is not stable at all. So lots of movement is going on there, lot of turbulence is there. So it is the middle part of the water body where a lot of turbulence is there, where a lot of generation of waves and all kind of tides is there. So a lot of movement is going on and a lot of instability is going on in the domain of Scorpio. One more thing, Scorpio is a sign of extremities. I have said it repeatedly in various videos so far on my channel that Scorpio is one sign which represent extremities. In this zodiac sign, any planet, if it is there, most of the times that planet is going to give extreme results, means either very good or either very bad. So most of the times. So this means that Scorpio is a sign which has the capability to give extreme results, either extremely good or extremely negative. One more thing, Scorpio is a sign of sudden changes and transformations. It is a mysterious sign of mysteries and secrecy, because Ketu is also the planet controller of Scorpio. So it is a planet of mystery, secrecy, occult signs, hidden things which are hidden underground or which are hidden in plain sight, yet we cannot see it. So that is what Scorpio is. Then Scorpio is a sign of research and analysis and development. It is it controls natural resources, heavy industries, engineering, surgery, accidents, any kind of sudden injuries can be seen with this. It is a sign of yoga and sadhana and kundalini, and it controls if we talk about our body, it controls the genital organs. Okay, it is a sign which is a very strong sign for intuition, because again Ketu is the ruler of this. So this is what Scorpio is in general. So now we have seen what Mercury is, what Scorpio is. Now we will talk about what about the results of Mercury in Scorpio. So first of all, if we see, this is the very vulnerable position for Mercury, because here Mercury is totally dependent on Mars. First thing, there are two reasons for it. First, Mars and Mercury are not friends to each other, they are enemies. So here when Mercury is placed here, it is a very vulnerable situation because it is in an enemy sign. Second, the thing here is, as I said, Mercury is a planet of logic, practicality, and analysis and reasoning and calculation, and it is a planet of a scientific temper. And Scorpio is just the reverse of Mercury. Scorpio is hidden things which you cannot know, which are mysterious, where you cannot, things which you can't relate with logic, which you can't understand with logic. Those are the things which are represented by Scorpio. So Mercury feels here very uncomfortable. Mercury feels very uncomfortable and agitated in this sign, that it is losing any kind of ability to understand anything with the help of logic and analysis and calculation. So that is another reason and logical reason why Mercury feels very agitated in this sign. But this does not mean that Mercury is going to give bad results in this. No, Mercury has the capability to give extremely good results as well, because again Mercury is a planet of learning. So if, even though let's say it is a planet of logic and analysis and science and all these things, but still if Mercury is getting the support from Mars, then Mercury is going to give very good results as well, because Mercury is the planet of learning. It is going to make person to understand the realm of Scorpio very well if Mars supports it, Ketu supports it. So that is why it is a vulnerable situation, because Mercury is totally dependent on Mars here. And if it gets the support, it can give good results as well, very good results in fact. But if it does not get the support or make some negative yogas, or Mars and Mercury are afflicted, some bad yogas are happening, a moon is ill placed in the chart, then quite serious negative results also can be given by this single alignment of Mercury in Scorpio as well. We will talk about that later in this video, but right now we are going to start with the first condition, that if Mars is well placed and Mercury gets support from Mars, then what happens? So if Mars is well placed in the chart, Mercury has the support of Mars, and then what kind of results we can expect, that we are going to look first. So if this is the situation, then it makes person quite clever, because as I said, Mercury is a planet of what? Logic. Mars is also a planet of logic, and here it makes person quite clever in an unusual way, but still yes. And it makes person logical, realistic, gives practical attitude, although it will also make person quite secretive in nature, but it will also provide unusual and deep thinking. It will give the capability to think deeply. Then there could be what you can say, affinity, to manipulative ability. It can give that. But also Mercury is going to be enhanced in its quality, so it is going to provide sharp mind and intellect and memory. Logic enhances a lot. Mars and Mercury, if they are together, for example in Scorpio, then you have to see the condition of moon though. But this is a good situation, because now Mercury and Mars both are logical planets and they are going to enhance it. So it enhances the sharpness of mind, memory power of the person, logical ability, calculative ability, analytical ability, ability to deduction, and ability to one also very however it is not found in everybody's case, but it has the capability. That is why I'm going to tell you the ability to do psychological postmortem. That anybody, but psychological postmortem means person is able to deduce the nature and behavior of the person with the help of his own logic. Okay, so whole psychology field is based on that. So that is why however that is not seen in everybody's case, but it has the capability. That is why I'm telling you here. One more thing, it also makes person risk taker, gives courage in order to do the things. Mean person does not only think that okay, I will do this in my life, I will do that. He or she is not only the person who is going to plan for future. They are the person who also are going to work for it. That okay, I have to work for it, I am going to plan for it as well, but I have to work it for it right now. Otherwise I cannot depend totally on the future, because circumstances change, and if circumstances are going to change, and if let's say I'm not able to do what I want to do right now, then what will happen? So with the help of this the help of this kind of mindset, they are going to take the steps right now in present time, that okay, I cannot totally depend on future, I have to do something for my goal, for my aim right now. So it makes person courageous and risk taker. I will take my chances. So that kind of attitude can be seen here. One more thing, if Mars is well placed, it makes person very persistent. They are, even if they fail in some task, let's suppose, but you have to see the placement of moon for this. Moon is very, very important, otherwise this thing will not happen. Moon and Saturn, if moon and Saturn are not providing any support, this thing will not happen. Persistency will not be there. So for that you have to check moon and Saturn as well. So it gives person persistency, makes person persuasive, that despite failures I am not going to leave my goal, leave my aim. I am going to pursue it despite failures. Okay, it does not happen in one go, it does not happen in second go, but it will happen in the third go. So that kind of attitude is provided here by Mercury to the person, but you have to check moon for this, otherwise we cannot say this very conclusively. Next thing, it also makes person quite energetic, gives keen observation, as I said, ability to deduce, ability to see, and ability to what you can say, psychological postmortem, the term which I used, that is can be seen here, because keen observation is here. Person is able to see the things in a much more detailed form, much more what you can say, unusual way, which the other people do not see very often. So that kind of ability can also be given. But see, all these qualities, they can be differed. This does not mean that everybody who has Mars well placed and Mercury in this sign is going to have all these qualities. No, there could be a mixture. Some qualities could be there, some could not be there. But I am telling you all the positive qualities which the Mercury has the capability to give if Mars supports it. Next thing here, it makes person intuitive as well, because Ketu is also the lord of Scorpio. However, for that you have to check other combinations. Otherwise, most of the times we cannot say that every time Mercury in Scorpio is going to make person intuitive. It does not happen every time. One more thing, stubbornness is going to enhance. Stubbornness enhances, but it also makes person quite strong-willed. Willpower is enhanced, dedication is enhanced, persistency is enhanced, action-orientedness is there in the behavior and attitude of the person. And commitment level is high. So but this is going to happen only and only if Saturn and Moon support it, otherwise it won't happen. Okay, because they are your mindset. Moon is your mind, Moon is your continuity, continuity in your thought, that is moon. So if moon is not supporting you, then it will be difficult. So for that you have to see the other combinations as well. But these are the results which Mercury can give if Mars is well placed. Apart from this, it also has the capability to give interest and knowledge of subjects which involve mystery, secrecy, logic, research, tact, strategy and analysis. Any kind of subject which is related with these things, they fascinate the person. So it could be like astrology, it could be any other occult science, it could be medicine or science, scientific subjects, psychology, yoga, philosophy, politics. Politics is also what? All about mystery, secrecy, all about strategy and tact, all about diplomacy, all about manipulation. That is what politics is. Understanding the psychology of the whole society. That is what politics is. So it also has the capability to give interest in these kind of fields as well. Apart from this, one common trait which can be seen here is generally high Shadripu can be seen, and hence it makes person quite materialistic. Now what is Shadripu? Shadripu means, Shad means 6, Ripu means enemy. Okay, so Shad means 6, Ripu means enemy. So 6 enemies of man which are said here, they are going to be high in the personality of the person. Any of them out of these 6, any of them could be high, or one or more than one could be high depending on the placement of the planet. So they are lust, greed, anger, jealousy, attachment, ego. All these 6 enemies of man which are said, they are they can be any one of them or more than one of them could be high, and hence it most of the times generally give a materialistic approach or mindset to the person, mainly the materialistic mindset. So inclination towards materialism will be high. Apart from this, life experiences and transformations deeply influence and shape the mentality and thinking of the person here, because as I said, Mercury is your thinking pattern, Mercury is your mentality and your mindset, along with moon and Mercury determine the mentality and thinking of the person. And this zodiac sign of Scorpio is a sign of transformation and changes and life experiences. So life transformations and experiences are now going to shape and influence deeply the mentality and thinking of the person. They are going to influence it a lot. Then this also gives, hence it is also going to give rise to a feeling of insecurity. Okay, it could be any kind of insecurity. It could be emotional insecurity due to some kind of aspect in your life. It could be anything, but some kind of insecurity, feeling of insecurity can be there within the personality of the person. And for whose removal now, in order to manage the feeling of insecurity, to remove that feeling of insecurity, because which has been created because of all these life experiences, for example, so for removal of those, the person becomes much and much more action oriented with the time and works a lot with practical material approach. Practical material approach means that in the world, if you have some materialistic desires, if you have some goals, if you have some aims, and if you have some dreams for you, for that you will have to work hard. For that you will have to destiny will play its role, fate will play its role, it will help you, but you will also have to work hard. Nothing is going to come to you just like that by sitting idle, nothing doing, and nothing is going to be there in your life just free of cost. Everything, for everything you have to pay a price. So that is practical material approach. Practical material approach is that now person realizes that yes, I will have to work. Otherwise, I cannot expect any gains in my life. That is what is here. And one more thing, person works for it. That is the main thing. Everybody knows that you are not going to get anything for free, but there are very few people who work for in order to follow their dreams and obtain them. Okay. But one more thing, this will happen only and only if Mars and Saturn are strong. Otherwise, this won't happen. Mars and Saturn are not strong, this practical material approach will not be there. Desires can be high, but the fulfillment of desires, the work which is needed, the hard labor which is needed, the ability, the stamina, the energy which is required in order to pursue your dreams, and by doing the hard work, that won't be there very properly if Mars and Saturn are badly placed. Okay, so this is another aspect. Apart from this, if we talk about the communication part, because Mercury is your communication, so it can give a sarcastic or argumentative but yet insightful communication, sometimes bold or humorous, and sometimes controversial communication as well, depending on other placements, how other planetary alignments are. So general pattern of the communication is this communication style. Apart from this, if the horoscope contains some strong spiritual yogas, then this placement is also very, very favorable for self-awareness and self-realization. In some specific yogas, it also gives tremendous intuitive power. So this will only happen when Ketu is directly associated with Mercury, otherwise it won't happen. And mainly you have to see the houses also. So this result is very uncommon, but it is found in few cases. That is why I am telling you here. Apart from this, if we talk about some career fields which can be favorable here, if Mercury is responsible for the career of the person, then this placement is good for any kind of technical jobs, any kind of career fields which are directly related with science and technology or engineering. Then again, as I said, it is good for research and analytical jobs. Analytical jobs like data analysts are there, for example, or statisticians are there, they also have to analyze a lot, or any kind of job where you need analysis on a daily basis. Okay, so research and analysis kind of jobs can be seen here. It is good for being in medicine and healthcare sector, psychology, for pursuing psychology, for being a surgeon, this is a good placement. We can also for finance and accounting and tax and mathematics and management, insurance, law, customs, immigration, defense, police, these kind of areas are also good for this placement. See, and one more thing, intelligence agencies and detectives, because Mercury is your analysis and logic, and Scorpio is what? Secrecy. So secrecy plus intelligence. So intelligence agencies and detectives can also be seen. Diplomacy can be seen. Good for politics. Very favorable placement for politics. Journalism and media and acting. For acting also it is good. So for journalism, mass communication, acting, sports, we can see musicians, and also with this, good for astrologers also. So these are some career fields which are also quite supportive with this placement of Mercury. Now we have seen so far that what happens if Mercury is in the sign of Scorpio and Mars is supporting it. Mars is well placed, and other alignments are good, due to which Mercury can have the capability to give all kind of positive results which we have talked about so far. Now let's talk about the condition that, let's suppose that Mercury is afflicted, or Mars is afflicted, or both of them are afflicted, and Mercury is not receiving any support from Mars. Apart from this, if Moon and Lagna Lord also are getting badly placed in the chart, then this negative situation will enhance. So if these kind of things are happening in the chart, some negative yogas are manifesting in the chart, now the negative results of Mercury in Scorpio can be seen. And as I said, that this is a very, very vulnerable situation for Mercury. So Mercury has the capability to give excellent results, and Scorpio is a sign of extremities. So it has the capability to give extreme results, extremely good or extremely bad. So this totally depends on the placement of Mars, Moon and Lagna Lord. So now the results which I am going to talk about now, the negativity of or the negative intensity of these results which I am going to talk about now, that depends upon the situation of Mercury, Mars, Moon and Lagna Lord, Ascendant Lord. The more they are going to be badly placed, means the more of these planets are going to be badly placed, the more negative results can be expected in the chart, and depending on the yogas you have to check it. So I am going to tell you all the things and take it as a source of information. Do not directly jump to conclusions. This is my warning here, because most of the times people just do illogical conclusion, come to illogical conclusions after some kind of silly calculations. So don't do that, because a lot of things depend on the other planetary alignments as well. I am telling you what the general description can be given here, because Mercury can have that capability to give. So now we are going to start about the negative results, which has the capability, and the negative intensity will enhance more. The negative yogas are going to be there, and badly placed planets are there of Mars, Moon, Lagna Lord and Mercury. So what can we expect? First of all, it can give poor concentration, poor memory, or learning ability. Education can suffer of the person. So it can also make person quite impractical, illogical, and decision making power will be very poor. Daydreaming attitude can be seen. That person is not living in the real world. He or she is most of the time living in some fantasy land. So daydreaming attitude can be seen. If Jupiter is also corrupt, then it also means that it can increase the tendency towards corruption in various aspects of life, and also it can give narrow and polluted mindset and thinking to the person. Can also make person manipulative, negatively manipulative, cunning, sometimes vindictive as well. Makes person very, very selfish. Shadripu will be very high. The 6 enemies of man which I talked about, lust, greed, anger, attachment and ego and jealousy, they are going to be very, very high in the chart. But this depends upon other planets also. Okay. So it can enhance aggression, anger, can give violent attitude, can make person deceptive or deceitful or immoral. Speech will be very afflicted. So either very bad or abusive speech could be seen, or person could be very manipulative, or lie a lot, will lie a lot in communication, in speech. It can also generate what you can say affinity to follow some illegal professions like smuggling or prostitution or money laundering or drug addiction, or any kind of corruption at workplace can also be seen. We can see any kind of scams or scandals with this particular alignment. So now see, again I will emphasize that do not directly jump to conclusions. These things can happen, but you have to see other yogas. Most of the times, most of the people do not face such issues. How many people whom you know that they are mafias and criminals and fanatics and smugglers and all these things? But the thing here I am telling you is that Mercury, what maximum capability it has in one particular alignment, that is what I am telling you. Take it as an information source, that's all. Okay. Next thing here is, if we talk about health, it can give mental and neurological disorders. It could be anything like anxiety, depression, fear, phobia, bipolar, ADHD, schizophrenia, insanity, anything, or suicidal tendencies. It could be like that. We can see any kind of neuromuscular problems, because Mars is your muscles, Mercury is nervous system. Neuromuscular problems can also be seen. Fertility problems related to genital organs or reproductive system, mainly genital organs, external genital organs, and spinal cord issues can also be seen. So these are some negative results, but again I am saying that take it as the source of information. Do not jump to conclusions, because most of the times you have to see how the other planetary alignments are working and what kind of yogas are happening in the chart. So I have told you the results which Mercury has the capability to give if it is negative, if it is not receiving any support from Mars, or negative combinations are happening. Okay. So we have seen the two cases, two aspects of Mercury in Scorpio, what kind of results it can give. That we have seen in quite a detail. So I think that you by now you would have understood that what kind of results Mercury gives in the sign of Scorpio, good as well as bad both. So that's all from my side regarding the placement of Mercury and its result in Scorpio. So if you are new to my channel, subscribe below for more. Check on my website and Facebook page. Otherwise we will meet in the next video. Till then, goodbye and thank you.